for the Wiener Shake Show, Wiener Shakers. To get involved, please call 302-RAW-DUMB.
That's 302-729-3664. 302-769-3664.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go!
And now, pull down your pants and spit box your gabagools.
Because we about to blow the lid off of this bitch.
It's the Wiener Shake Show. And now, here's Gregg Wiener and Imran Shake.
Welcome to 101.5 The Rock, coming at you live from top of the Chrysler Building.
Is that what is that?
We're gonna take our first caller, handing it over to our producer, Gregg. Gregg, who's on the line one?
I don't. Are we simulating a talk radio show on a fake radio station?
Okay, coming back from the Gregg man, he's a Jew. We're gonna take our second caller for the evening. You might win a pair of tickets to see Hall & Oates this summer. Who do we have on the line? Caller, you're on 101.5 The Rock. Go ahead. We're listening to your calls here at 101.5 The Rock.
Really, nigga?
This is the strangest beginning to the Wiener Shake Show I think we've ever had.
Well, I seem to recall someone saying that I need to up my broadcasting game. So this is what you want, Wiener. This is what you get. Welcome to 101.5 The Rock.
Can you hear this beautiful, lovely music?
Listening to some sad music on 101.5 The Rock. Hey, my babies. It's Coltrane Imran broadcasting to you live from Harlem Nights.
I see you've been
Tonight we got some soul playing for you. Give us a call.
I really love the initiative that you've taken. I'm going to try and be more positive, even when you fall flat on your face. Because
Initiative's the name of the game, my babies. Once again, it's DJ Coltrane Imran coming at you as a racial stereotype tonight on Power Harlem 101.2. Give us a call.
That's deep, man. You going to play any music? I like how,
We're going to be listening to some R&B tonight. Ooh, girl. Songs that remind you of somewhat rapey instances in which men tell women to satisfy them. Oh, yeah. It's Wolfman Imran coming to you live from 1962. You wanted broadcasting game. I upped my broadcasting game, Wiener. This is what you wanted.
No.
I've been berated for this for the past 14 episodes.
Yep. I knew I was
every day.
I knew it.
Day in, day out. Day in, day out. Hey, Imran, you need to whoa, people, poopy, bop, bop.
If I can take the stage for a moment.
Go ahead, Gregg the Jew, one of our mainstays here at 101.5 The Rock. Gregg, what's on your dome?
This isn't what I meant. We clearly don't play music. I put a lot... I need to, first of all, welcome to the Wiener Shake Show. Imran's been toying around and trying to basically make fun of me for saying that he needed to up his game, his broadcasting game. He's been listening back to the episodes we published 4 in the last week. And I'd say in all of them, I have been playing the part of bully. And I have exhausted you listeners and myself. And now I'm going to take us back real quick to episode 14, where I think I hit the pinnacle of frustration and bullying and thinking that I'm doing good talk radio, when in actuality I'm not. So we're just going to listen real quick. We'll comment and talk about this.
Going back to the tapes by Gregg, man.
Okay.
Going back to the tapes.
You stepped on me going back to the tapes. You literally... I mean, you're making it so hard for me to be nice.
Live radio can be a bitch.
Okay, I'm gonna go back now we're gonna go in time. You know,
going back to the tapes.
All right, stop talking, you son of a bitch. At least let it be Aunt Tom. I mean, how you're not broadcasting as Aunt Tom right now is...
101.5 plays it safe and doesn't play around with trannies. We're a family radio show. Coming at you live, 101.5! Top of the Chrysler Building.
You know I bust my ass. I edit this shit all the time in my free time. I haven't seen my family in months because I've been sacrificing my free time to pour heart and soul into a venture, a creative venture that I believe in, and you want to sit here and mock my level of dedication by saying that I'm the reason because I don't bring the content, I don't bring the features. You know, this is really, it's eventually going to start to make my stomach boil. You're joking. Imran, you've got to finish the Paula episodes, man. Just as a friend. As a friend.
As a
I mean,
friend.
The second we get off the show, I'm gonna
you've been talking about this for 2 weeks that you're going to have it done, and you've had it for a month.
Also, I've got a heavy jerk-off schedule. I mean, they're just churning out porn left and right these days.
Come on, dude.
Listen.
Just, I know you're busy.
No,
listen.
I'll have it.
Conversely, I do 5 shows a week. I record at 3 different voiceover dubbing studios. I track live radio, on 2 different radio stations 3 days a week. I am madly head over heels for a girl who, whenever I have free time, I'd prefer to be with her and get to know her better because she is so much more fantastic than you will ever be as a human being.
All right.
And then, there's editing the episodes that we have that take 12 years because you have no clue of how to broadcast.
Okay. Now, I want to walk a lot of that back.
Fresh off the tapes here at 101.5, looking back at our best hits. Go ahead, Gregg, the honkin' Jew. What do you got for us tonight, you crazy sales bargain hunting son of a bitch?
Apparently, my co-host is going to be a top 40 jock just screaming call letters at me all night. So we'll operate in completely separate spheres, and maybe we'll come together again. But...
A schism was created by you, Gregg Weeder, with your bullying here on 101.5 The Rock.
I never intended to bully my good friend Imran. I wanted to do this
acquaintances.
I wanted to do this podcast because very rarely do I find people who make me laugh. And make me laugh to the point of crying. And... when I met Imran, I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional. When I met Imran, I was going through a rough time, and he brought laughter back into my life, and
crocodile tears.
No, this is actual real emotion, you asshole.
I'm a sociopath. Human emotion does not affect me here on 101.5 The Rock. Give us a call. Let us know how you are apathetic. Go ahead, caller. How do you not register human emotion?
You're just going to be completely disconnected from this, aren't you?
We're all disconnected in some way here on 101.5 The Rock, emotionally, physically.
Anyway.
Next up, the Buzz Tones with Wolfman Imran.
So this podcast is something that is supposed to be entertaining. Right? All subjects and self-expression is done in the hopes of just merely creating comedy. And some of my best memories in life have literally been when I have been laughing to the point of tears. So when I found Imran in my life at a juncture, I would say, he touched a bit in me, and I think I touched a bit in him, and even though he's pretending to be Wolfman Jack now, and he won't admit it because I've spent the last 14 episodes kind of bullying him for some reason. And
Wolfman Jack broadcasting you again back from 1963.
To explain a little bit about the bullying thing, I think when guys get together, there's always this one-uppingness. It's an alpha-beta kind of thing. Not that I consider myself an alpha or Imran a beta, but there is that kind of back-and-forth ball-busting. I think I've been riding that a little too hard on this podcast. I'm new at this. I may have a broadcasting career and background, but I have never done talk format ever in my life. And at the same time, I'm walking it back, but then I think I'm going to walk back the walk back because
Coltrane Imran's a beta here on Harlem Power 101.5. Ladies, tell me what you want, and I'll do it. No questions asked. You're my goddess. Yeah. I'm your god.
You see how Imran broadcasts by himself, and he doesn't wait or try and communicate even though we have the cameras set up. And so I'm walking back the walk back because there is a general frustration when you're working with somebody who doesn't listen. I've been trying to be honest. I genuinely got emotional when I talked about
Wolfman Imran back at you with the buzz tones coming up next.
No, nigga. Really, nigga?
And Imran just doesn't want to play serious because I think he's on the spectrum personally. I think that, and it explains a lot, his quote-unquote Pakistani cricket, whatever you want to call it, education. I think we can all see through the line of bullshit there. He was probably at autism school, which there's nothing wrong with that, but he's on the spectrum.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, wait a minute.
Autism school?
I'm trying to get you out of the Wolfman Jack thing.
What is autism school?
It's nothing. I'm trying to fucking shake your
let's
chain,
pull this
buddy.
thread.
No, we're not pulling a thread. There's no autism school. And you're clearly not on the spectrum. This is an example of me yanking on my friend's chain to get him to react. And that is what the chemistry is all about here on the Wiener Shake Show. Yeah.
Welcome back to These Are Our Times on...
See, and your levels are so low right there. This is what I'm talking about, and this is why I walked back the walk back.
Welcome back to These Are Our Times on the Spectrum. Today's guest, we have Gregg, an irate Jewish white man oppressing a brown man. Gregg, what are your feelings on how you're oppressing a minority?
Really, nigga?
I'm not oppressing anybody, you weirdo.
That's offensive. We don't use those words here on the Spectrum.
No, nigga!
Publicly funded for you by a bunch of hippies with no jobs or deodorant using ability.
Deodorant user? Do you use deodorant? Are you sneezing right now? Did you just sneeze?
Coltrane Imran uses deodorant to lure the ladies into his love shack.
So are we going to do a real podcast tonight, or are you going to continue to play this character that has its merit and it'll make the episode? We're probably around 10, 15 minutes in now, and you're still doing it, and I can't have a normal conversation with you.
Careful what you ask for, my friend.
That's not what I asked for, and you know it.
Careful what you ask for.
You're playing the devil's advocate for a change. And as I lean on bullying and ball busting on this podcast program, dare I say on this episode, which is an intervention of sorts, that you lean on playing devil's advocate a little much, since we're calling each other out on our faults, because we're human beings.
I just want to make this clear.
Yeah.
You, walked back your walk back, and now are claiming that my fault is my inability to broadcast well.
What? No, you're broadcasting like as if you're a radio DJ when we're doing a talk show. And so you missed the point.
No, Wiener. You said specifically, oh, maybe you should up your broadcasting game. Oh, I have 48 jobs, bruh. All right?
Wow, Jesus, that is you have painted me to be the biggest douchebag on earth. And you know I'm a big Jewish fucking bargain shopping teddy bear, buddy, who's lovesick, okay? You know it, so don't paint me out to be this fucking jock prick. Alpha male dick smacker. It's a callback to an old episode. When we got along.
We're divorcing. You were witnessing a divorce. You did this, Gregg. You did. You know what? Take the kids. I don't want the kids.
We don't have kids. Imagine what our kids would look like. Jesus, little ass babies, obviously.
My roommate, my old college roommate and I, the greatest fun we would ever have would be staying up till like 4 a.m., not doing work, just playing Risk with each other, and then on the computer. And then we would get into fake arguments joking around, and we would role play these two characters that were married, but it was like us. It was me and Tom, and we were married, and we were going through like a very emotional divorce where no one was yelling. It wasn't like we were yelling at each other. It would just be stuff like, well, you know what? I don't think I ever really loved you. And then he would be like, yeah, well, you know what? I faked it. He was like, every time I faked it, and I'd be like, you faked it. You're a man. And he was like, yeah, I used a jar of mayonnaise. And then I would like pretend cry. We would do this for hours.
Just for yourselves. You wouldn't record it, or it was just for your own entertainment?
Just for our own entertainment. And it would be these elaborate, like, hardcore emotional breakup scenes between these two men who were us. It wasn't like we were taking on characters. It was really our own lives, and we just made it seem like we had been married for, like, I think we would always make it like 4 years. And then he would oftentimes be like, keep the kids. I don't want the kids. I never wanted the kids. I don't know. Not really. It was fun to us.
Yeah. How do you feel now?
What I'm saying is I faked it with you every time. Jar of mayonnaise.
Well, I have proof that you weren't faking, and it's in the first 14 episodes, okay? 15, 16 episodes.
That's the first compliment Gregg has ever paid me.
That's not true. You know, if you go back and you listen to all these podcasts, all these episodes of the Wiener Shake Show, I clearly lay out how I feel for Imran. I just mispronounced his name. Thank you, podcasting gods. Like, I could not have planned that any better. And that's the magic of the Wiener Shake Show. We're both fucking smacked asses trying to figure out how to do this. Make strangers laugh. That's the key. Imran? What the fuck, dude?
No, man, I just really want to tell you that I really respect you. Jake, John, whatever your name is. Listen, I was hoping for more bang for my buck on my opening there, to be honest with you.
I know. I know. How long did you have it planned out that you were going to be the radio guy?
See, you know what sucks?
What?
About it is, I didn't work on the characters.
Right. That's clear. I mean, if we're going to sit here and dissect it, like we used to in acting classes. You sit around and you say you're honest about your execution. And no, your characters weren't fleshed out. You didn't plan. You screamed into the microphone and didn't play with your scene partner. You committed.
That was by design.
Oh, okay. Well, that's true. That does make sense. You were punishing me.
Right.
Yeah. That came across very clearly because.
But I ended up punishing our listeners as well in the process.
Yeah, and you also took like a serious, like I came into the top of this episode, hat in hand. Right. I told Tom Hanks, I said, I'm doing an intervention episode tonight. I feel terrible. I've been feeling guilty all day, and I wrote this whole thing, and then I started going into it, and I literally got emotional.
Those are real emotions.
That was real emotions when I talked about meeting you and laughing, because I needed that kind of laughter at that time in my life. It was a rough time. So, the weight of my heart is fucking laughter, dude. If you make me laugh, I will be with you for life. And then you walked all over.
That was the problem. I think you came in with an agenda, like you said, hat in hand.
Yeah.
And you stomped all over my bit with your, I don't want to call it an apology, because I don't think, sincerely, don't think you did anything wrong and need to apologize for anything.
Oh,
but
okay.
I think you just denigrated your sidekick on live radio, smashed his feelings and dignity and all that stuff. But you don't need to apologize for that or anything. Made him feel like shit. Broadcast his foibles, really, when he's going through a rough time. He's told you several times he's depressed. But again, I'm not saying that you need to apologize for that, and I'm not saying that what you did was wrong. You just trampled all over his soul and heart and feelings, and doing podcast shows, radio, etc., what have you. He's always wanted to do that for his entire life, but you trampling over his ability to do so. I'm not saying that's what you have to apologize for, or that you have to apologize for that at all. What I'm saying is you fucked up my bit.
Yeah. Well, if we were to adhere to the last 17 episodes, we always begin with me leading the charge. And I didn't think it would be any different today than it's been for the last 17 episodes. I come on, I say welcome, I lay out the foundation for the show, we discuss things, and then we pile through our bullet list of content and never get past the first one.
Pile through. Wow, riveting.
All right, pile through wasn't a good word. We dive in. Listen, it's not for lack of excitement to do it. I'm just, you know what?
Are you wearing a collared shirt? What do you got, a business meeting
I am.
later?
No, all my T-shirts are in the wash. Did you? No, I'm going to ask you a serious question now. So be serious.
I don't wash my T-shirts.
Well, okay. I mean, I don't care.
I wash my undergarments.
Good.
But not my shirts or pants.
Is that a Hindu
culture Bible thing?
Culture Bible rule?
Yeah.
What bylaw is that?
Water is spiritual and shall not be used to be soiled with human soil.
Good. That makes a lot of sense. I'm trying to remember what the fuck I was talking about.
How you trampled my bit with your sincerity?
No, I already did that. No, there was something I was trying to get to.
How you don't need to apologize for the horrible things you did?
Oh, this is what I wanted. Yes. First of all, welcome to the Wiener Shake show, and passive aggression and guilt will be on a wonderful display tonight. Guilt will be portrayed by Imran Sheikh, and passive aggression will be portrayed by Gregg Wiener.
A Jew.
Bless you. Did you really, when we would stop recording, Imran, and we would be like, hey, that was really good, we'd wrap up, and, you know, we'd go for like an hour and 45 minutes, and we'd feel good afterwards. Did you
Cry?
hang up those headphones and feel bad when I would go on my rants?
No. I mean, after we would finish and I would give you a congratulatory, like, oh, that was good. Or, you know, sometimes I'd be like, I don't know. I think I should have said this. I think I should have did that.
Right.
And because I knew that I needed to please you because you get really, really violently angry and I didn't want to upset you and I didn't want you to fire me. So I had to appease you somehow. But that's not, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a fault or harassment from you in any way. I'm not saying that. That's just who you are, and that's who you are, and that's who you deal with in life.
Do you want to answer the question for real? Or no, you're just going to play around more?
No. I'm getting to it if you stop interrupting me.
So you just take two to 4 minutes to get through every answer.
After I would hang up the headphones and congratulate you because I felt a need to do so, I would cry for at least 5 minutes. I'd go to my roommate and she'd be like, why are you in tears again? Is it that Gregg character? And I'd be like, no, he doesn't mean it. He really loves me. He doesn't understand. You don't understand. She'd be like, you really have to stop doing this podcast. A, you're too loud. B, I can't handle the mess afterwards. This Gregg guy is destroying it. And I'd say, you shut up, you bitch. You don't know Gregg. You don't understand Gregg. Gregg does everything for me. And that's not, again, I'm not saying you did anything wrong or you need to apologize for anything.
Right. So I guess the answer to the question of me asking you if you're going to answer the question honestly and roll organically, as is now our organic catchphrase, your answer to my question is no, right? You're not going to answer and how I really made you feel, because I care right now at this moment about your feelings. But I feel that part is leaving me. It's like this, the heavenly spirit that was generous and kind and sad about hurting my friend is going away. And the nasty, angry bully is quickly coming through my open asshole and getting ready to fly out of my gut because you won't answer a fucking question.
I did answer it. I told you.
No, you're bullshitting.
Excuse me. I'm telling you the truth. I would hang up the headphones. We would finish the show. We would finish recording. You'd say, "Okay, we're done recording," and I'd be like, "Oh, that was really great, Mr. Wiener. That was really good."
So stop. You're doing it again. You know you're doing it again.
that thing you said, and oh, remember when you trampled my soul? That was really funny. And then you'd be like, yeah, that's right. Tell me more about the shit I did. And then I'd give you a litany of things, and then we'd hang up, and then I don't want to go through the whole rigmarole again, but I would weep, sob. But that's not your fault. That's my fault for being a shitty broadcaster.
Well, your shtick is okay, right?
What?
Wow, you're like a girlfriend who won't forget the one mistake her boyfriend made.
No one made any mistake.
You won't let me live it down, so you're going to continue to be a shitty broadcaster to get back at me. It's quite a psychological episode of the Wiener Shake Show going on right now. Bit of tug of war, if you will, of two superpowers, a Jew and a Muslim, going at it. The Jew, hat in hand, trying to find forgiveness in his Muslim friend's heart, but his Muslim friend won't forgive, and he'll never forget, and he will never answer a fucking question like a normal human being either. And
I
so
forgive
I am.
you?
Yeah.
I forgive you,
Please.
and I forget you all the time.
Shtick. I need a drop that says shtick, because this is shtick. I'm rolling organic tonight. You want to put on a show? Go ahead.
Well, that's what you.
I fucking
is that
hate
not what
rolling
you came
organic.
here for? Are you not entertained? Getting hot, getting real hot.
Oh my God, that's the fucking catchphrase right there. I'm hot. I'm hot. I sit with these episodes, man. Like, let me talk about the process of editing real quick.
Because that's what people want to hear. Tell us more about logistical things, Gregg. Welcome back to the Animus and Dipshit Show, where Gregg lifts the curtain behind the magic. Go ahead, Gregg.
No, fuck you. Forget it. I'm not going to sit here and talk about editing then. Because part of that was going to be to discuss how hard I laugh at certain things. But
hard.
What's the fucking
harder.
point? What's the point? You're gonna be your antagonistic Muslim, dirty-skinned, Coke bottle glass wearing self, and I'm just gonna continue to slam my head against the wall and trying to roll organic. All right, I gotta stop saying roll organic. I get douche chills every time it comes out of my mouth.
Gregg's a honkin' Jew. He's a dipshit.
What? No, I was trying to do something different tonight. I
No,
wanted to
'cause
have
you
an
said
honest.
I had Coke bottle glasses, and I haven't heard that phrase since watching reruns of Leave It to Beaver.
Well, and no one's seen those thick glasses since Leave It to Beaver.
I think you won. That's right.
Yeah. Have you heard of LASIK or contact lenses?
Here's the thing about contact
Oh,
lenses.
yeah. Please bore us with your take on contact lenses.
Oh, you see, this is what Weeder does. This is what Weeder does.
I told you. The angel left. The devil's back.
No. This is what he does. I'll say something. Cause see, if he doesn't cut it out, see, I called him boring, and I said what he wanted to talk about was boring. So now he's going to turn it, because he's got it rotating around like a little dreidel in his head. Like, oh, he said I'm boring. I got to use that against him. I got to use that against him.
Not
So
true.
when I mention something that's actually somewhat interesting and something people want to hear about, my take on contact lenses and Coke bottle glasses and LASIK. No. That's not enough for Gregg. He doesn't want a show. He wants vengeance. And he goes, I'm going to say, I'm going to say that he's
high.
boring. That's what I'm going to say. Spin, little dreidel, spin. This is what people don't get.
Spin, little dreidel, spin.
That's how your mind works. You know how
No.
sometimes you'll see cartoons, there'll be hamster wheels running around
Yeah,
in
we
people's
get
heads.
it. We get it.
When you get to you, it's just a dreidel spinning around.
Right. Yeah, this is
And it's
you
throwing-
beating a joke to death. Go ahead. Give it another kick in its stomach until I can't breathe anymore.
Okay. All right, Gregg. Yeah, laugh it up.
You were laughing too, buddy, because that's funny. Let's take a break. We got to take a break anyway.
The dark-skinned South Asian, the bargain shopping Hebrew, the Wiener Shake Show.
This podcast is supported by Zcast. Zcast.co is their web address. They are an app and website. They provide the platform that you're hearing this podcast on. They provide RSS feeds, server space, and links for sharing your podcast. We'd like to thank the folks over at Zcast for their incredible platform and for their constant and undying support of the Gregg Wiener podcast. We love you, Zcast. Thank you so much for your hard work, and we look forward to forging a beautiful, professional, profitable, and maybe sexual, but not harassing sexual relationship with you. Thank you, Zcast.
Hey there, Wiener Shakers.
This is your man, Flo Rida.
Hey, what's happening? This your little homie Plies, man.
Hey, yo, what's poppin', man? It's your boy Bow Easy, man. Check it out.
To connect with the Wiener Shake Show.
Text or call
302 Raw Dong.
And now, back to Gregg Wiener and Imran Shake.
And the Wiener Shake Show on the Gregg Wiener Podcasting Network.
I mean, we're talking running out of skin erection.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Brilliant.
We're talking about great TV shows that are still running and have been kicking ass for like 13, 15 seasons.
Right.
Which is incredible. One of them
It's
being
Always Sunny.
Yeah,
It's Always Sunny, hands down. I mean, it's all Glenn Howard, man. The guy is a fucking genius. I think he like gives credit to like Charlie Day and what's his name,
Rob McElhenney. Yeah.
And I don't think Caitlin Olsen is really touted to be in the writer's room or anything, but it's all Glenn. I mean, it's kind of obvious if you think about it.
Do you have a poster of Glenn up in your room at all? Just for inspiration, not in a gay way, obviously. You're not gay.
Obviously, I'm not gay. I'm not attracted to men, although Glenn Howard's portrayal of Dennis Reynolds is very attractive. I don't keep a poster because I think that's kind of idol worship. I do keep a photo of him in my wallet, but that's, I think, a different thing.
That's normal.
Can you tell me what the fuck is going on in the head of these girls that don't shave their armpits and then show it off on dating apps? I mean, I appreciate the fact that they're letting you know that they're dirty, but what is the fucking deal here? You're a woman. Celebrate your form by landscaping it for my pleasure.
Selfish. You're selfish.
No, they are selfish. Yeah, they are.
No,
Yeah.
Listen, I don't find hairsuit women attractive.
Hirsute.
Hairsuit. Isn't it hairsuit for hair?
Hairsuit.
Well, I don't trust your pronunciation on things, though, because you get things wrong sometimes. I mean, that's true. I'm not bullying you. It's a fact. Right?
That's an insult. That's an insult.
Well, then
because
don't get
English
words
is a
wrong.
second language for me, and you're trying to get under my skin.
Do you speak Urdu?
I do.
Can we hear some?
Never.
Why? Is it a sacred language to you? Do you only say it in mosques or when you're planning terrorist attacks?
Well, according to the Hindu Culture Bible,
Yeah.
I only speak Urdu. This is true. I only speak Urdu with my parents. Not because they don't know English, but because, I don't know, it's just weird to speak English to them. And my sister, I only speak in English with, even though we both are fluent in Urdu.
You have a sister?
Isn't that weird?
You have a sister.
Uh-oh, this was a mistake. Yeah, I do, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your sister.
Oh, no. She's a doctor.
Of course.
So my parents got one.
They got one right.
Yeah,
Is
they got one right.
Yeah.
They got...
What do your parents think of your career trajectory?
My mom still is trying to get me. So it started out, be a doctor. Then it became, learn computers. These days, she's all about sending me to pharmacy school.
Oh,
So
Jesus Christ. To be
Not
a
sure.
biochemist or something?
to be a pharmacist, they make good money.
I'm sure they do, but what kind?
It's an
Who
easy-
were you serving, though? Like, who
Yeah,
are you
I mean,
helping
listen.
there? Just passing out pills,
I mean,
especially in this country.
Minorities who abuse the system for drugs.
Jesus Christ. By the way, you ended episode 17, or was it 16?
Uh-huh.
Oh, did you? I think it's episode 16. I'm getting them confused now.
I don't even know.
Yeah, it's 16 because I was talking about the baristas judging me for ordering an extra shot or two, and you said with their goddamn fried chicken fingers. Like, I mean, unwarranted.
Yeah.
Unwarranted.
What do you mean unwarranted? We all know that Starbucks employees enjoy eating fried chicken. What's unwarranted about that?
I don't know.
It's physics.
It's
What
what
don't you
what
know,
is
Gregg?
tonight's episode about? We have meandered, and that's part of the conceit of our program, I think, is that we don't really... people ask me all the time, oh, you have a podcast? Oh, wow, you have 17 episodes out now? Yeah, what's it about? And I'm like, well, my friend's Muslim, he's really funny, he's really smart, and I'm Jewish, and we just, we talk about our lives and love life and dating, and we're vulnerable and open, and the problems with women. I mean, is that what we talk about? Is that what we do?
I mean, there was a good chunk, I think you put it best, when we were really becoming the man sex hour.
Oh, yeah.
We righted that course, I think, organically. Because we... What?
We roll organic.
And, no, I think what our show is about is you not being able to deliver on content. You talk this big game about how you have a broadcasting career, and then you roll out that you have content. Then you needle me. You say like, "Oh, I bet you didn't make any content," and I'm like, "Yeah, I've got tons of content, and I'm just waiting for you to get through yours so I can then present mine because I'm a gracious sidekick and I don't want to usurp the show from the host." And then you never get through it, Greg.
Imran,
I mean,
listen,
if anything,
listen,
I think it says something about your broadcasting abilities.
Hold on. I fucking talked over my own fart. What a piece of shit broadcaster I am. Unbelievable. And that sums up my life.
We got to do that again.
I don't have another one in the chamber.
Damn. Because that would be so... Do a soundboard.
No, I'm not going to do a cheap one. It was supposed to be real. You were supposed to hear it. But we fumbled. We fumbled the kickoff. And,
we're going to do it right. We're going to do it right because that's too funny not to do.
No, but it's not real.
There's a video of... sorry. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Go on YouTube later. Sorry, I know I just did something really rude there. If you go on YouTube, look at this video called Fart Cluster 9.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get to that for sure.
It's a compilation. I don't give a shit about you, Greg. I'm doing this for our listeners. If you go to Fart Cluster 9 on YouTube, you'll find the funniest. Actually, you know what's the funniest fart?
The farting preacher.
What the fuck are you talking about?
The farting preacher? Are you kidding me?
Some 1920s sketch show or something?
For I have seen I've seen what Laban's done unto... Isn't that amazing? And my word will not return void, and it will go to that which it was sent. And it will prosper. But life and joy and the nature of God. Oh, hallelujah.
I mean...
Is that Super Deluxe?
Super Deluxe? What do you mean?
Super Deluxe does a bunch of videos that are very... Oh, what's that? What was that website?
It's not. It's. I don't know who came up with it, but it's just the farting preacher, and he just does that shit.
There's a website that started taking video clips, old school video clips, and just re-editing them like this. I can't remember the site's name. God damn it.
Well, that's, you know what? And just because we're being constructive and honest today, and we're being respectful, or at least I'm trying to be, maybe that's something you could... Right. Maybe that's something you could work on for next episode, is preparing and doing some research on something you discovered you didn't know about in the midst of a recording of an episode, and where you drop the ball again, and maybe you could write it down. Just get out your phone right now, please.
I'm sensing a little animus here, Greg. But that's not the new Gregg, though. This is...
No.
You're doing this out of concern and love.
But listen to how I'm saying it. It's full of love, and I'm as I'm telling you about this, I'm remembering the day you first made me laugh. I'm letting
what was that, Greg?
Oh, I don't remember. I don't know. When was that, or what was that? What did you say that made me laugh? I may have laughed at just how awkward you look sitting at the table. I may have caught wind of your lady hips before you admitted to knowing about it. And that may have been how you made me laugh first, is just how I saw the hips and I was like, oh, look at this girl. I saw you from behind and I was like, wow, I can't wait until this girl wears a skirt. And you turned around and it was like, oh my God, ISIS is in the room.
Can I tell you, I used to wear a military jacket that I got from Amsterdam for €7. which I haggled down to €7. It was actually €10, but I talked the guy down. Great story, but I won't bore you with it.
Wait a minute. You're not going to tell a Jew of how you Jewed something down? You see, you missed that opportunity. Get your phone out, write that down as well. Something to work on. See, this is the new way of bullying.
It's a fitted jacket, so it cinches around my waist. And at the time, I had shoulder-length hair. On more than, I would say, 5 occasions, I got mistook for a woman from behind. There was one time we were at a restaurant, at like a bar, and this guy started hitting on me from behind. He was like, "Hey, miss, can I buy you a drink?" And I would turn around and go, "I'm a man."
Would they shriek? Like,
no,
oh, Jesus Christ.
They would, yeah. Yeah. The one guy was like, "Oh, my bad. I was like, "Yeah, it is your bad."
That explains a lot.
I can't turn that into a joke because it hurt me.
Yeah, we can hear the pain in your voice. Do you notice this feeling you're feeling right now?
What feeling?
Of going through a story and kind of knowing it didn't land? I'm sorry.
I'm well familiar with that feeling, Greg.
I'm sorry.
No. You did nothing to be sorry about. You saw a flaw in me, and you pointed it out, as well you should. It's like, when you see somebody on the street bleeding out, you go up to that person and you just pry open the wound even more so you can put that person out of his or her misery.
Wow, you need help getting up on that cross?
Wow. Okay. See, again, I just want to point this out for our listeners.
Right, I'm taking his joke.
I said that 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
And Greg stuck it onto his little dreidel wheel in his head and was like, "I'm going to get back to this and I'm going to use it," because you see, he steals. Greg is a thief.
I'm Aunt Tom.
No, I'm crossing.
I'm Aunt Tom.
What is that?
I'm going to steal your Aunt Tom bit too.
You can't. Well, you might as well, because Aunt Tom. I don't even remember.
And Tom is going to polarize listeners. They're either going to turn off the podcast or they're going to piss themselves. I'm convinced. Me, personally, I can't get tired of it.
You can't get tired of Aunt Tom.
No.
Aunt Tom, it's misunderstood.
Is that a play on words? Is that what you did? Misunderstood?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
I want you to explain this to me, right?
You're popping J's while she's BJing you?
Do you hear how innocent and inexperienced you are in that one little clip? Let's hear it again.
You're popping J's while she's BJing you?
Okay, now popping J's is a colloquialism that doesn't exist because you don't pop a J, you smoke a J or a joint, J for joint, Joint. Get your phone out, write that down as well.
The reefer.
But there's a sweet, sweet innocence, a sweet stupidity, I think is a better... Listen to it again.
You're popping J's while she's BJing you?
You see how the voice goes up at the end? Because you're so filled with awe and wonder and stupidity.
You know what this is about, ladies and gentlemen?
What is it about?
Greg made a soundboard, and he wants us all to talk about it. He tried to play it at the top. He tried to while I was doing my masterful radio jockey bit, which he trampled on with his sincerity.
Right.
He's casually throwing out the soundboard that he made. He spent hours working on.
I'm glad you're enjoying this. I'm going full force right now. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's Imran fucking. Also, you were breaking up while you were trying to berate me and mock me spending my own money on an app that's going to make us as a unit sound better. But go ahead, continue mocking me, because I'm certainly not bragging about my new soundboard app. I'm just using it practically, and that was one of the drops I made was this.
You're popping J's while she's BJing you? I love my mommy.
I don't know where that one came from. I really don't know where...
I love my mommy.
That's a good one, though, right? I don't remember what episode that came from or if it made the cut into a, I clearly do all the work on this end, folks. So, but I've edited 17 episodes. If we count Paula, I worked on it as well. We co-edited that episode. We both put in a lot of time to make that one of the most quickly popular episodes in our canon. by the way.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think it's safe to say that I deserve the credit of 2 edits for editing that. And, I mean, honestly, did you really re-edit it? I mean, you kind of, as you do on the show, you take what I say, like things like, things, and you try to use them on me. Like the sound, the speech-to-text thing with the Camaro, you just did it just now. What was the thing? The dreidel thing. What was that? What was that? Insulting me, something like that.
I like letting you just spin yourself out. like a dreidel that hasn't been spun hard enough.
See, he's doing it. He's doing it again. This is what Gregg does. He takes Neanderthal is another one. I said Neanderthal one time, and then all of a sudden Neanderthal is Gregg's word du jour. And then he did this with
Hirsute.
He did this Hirsute, and now he's doing a dreidel. Everything's coming up dreidel references now. All of a sudden, after old Imran made a dreidel reference. Go ahead, tell us more about this soundboard, Gregg.
You should take it as a compliment because, in a way, you're teaching me new words and jokes and things like that.
I do because imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Do you think, honestly, I really want to have an honest discussion. I'm totally serious.
All right.
Do you think that this podcast sucks? Because I'm wondering. I'm kind of listen. We're clearly, we have great chemistry, we're very funny, but are we missing some? I wasn't talking about you being funny. You're awkward. I'm hilarious. Is there something we're missing why we're not already picked up by a huge network? Are we doing something wrong?
I don't think we suck, to be honest. Listen, I enjoy our show. I listen to it all the time. And we've talked about this offline a bit where it's like, are we enjoying this because we're listening to ourselves? But I kind of know myself, and I know you to a certain extent too. And we're not the type of people who sit there and jerk off to ourselves.
No,
I can speak for myself. I'm very self-critical, and I'm still very critical of some of the things and the bits that I do. I'll be listening to shows, and I'm like, I should have went with that joke, or I should have gone with that joke.
Me too. And that's part of the reason I listen. I mean, I over-listen because I'm also editing. So when we finish recording this. When we finish recording this, I'm going to upload it to my phone so I can listen to it and kind of figure out how I'm going to sculpt the show. Right. So I'm hearing it and I'm picking apart everything. Right. I'm like, no, you suck. Right. And then I have to turn that mirror back on myself because that's just you that I'm criticizing.
You son of a bitch. No,
it's true. Listen, I'm so hard on myself. So fucking hard on myself.
I think it's a good show. I really do. I enjoy the fuck out of it. I told you today, I texted you. I was like, hey, is the new episode coming out? Because I genuinely wanted to listen. Now, I'm not going to lie. That's partly because I want to see how the result and see how we did. But also because it's entertaining to me. I love listening to it. I listened to the Chipotle bit over and over again all the time. It still cracks me up. So, I think it's because we're not personalities, and this is a personality-driven show, or at least a lot of talk shows are personality-driven.
You mean celebrity-driven? We don't have any kind of celebrity. I mean, it doesn't matter that I was on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia for one episode. That gets us nowhere.
It doesn't. I think we have a good angle. I think we have an interesting angle. I think for us, I hope it happens overnight, but it may be a slow and steady thing. It might be a situation where it's like, you'll ask, some people will be like, oh, you're actors, right? Will be like, oh, you're an overnight hit, because you just did like Tiffany Haddish is one example, right? Mm-hmm. She did Girls Trip, I think.
Sure,
and
but there's nothing overnight about her. She's been hustling for like 10 years. But because people don't know you're not in their general brain as soon as you get in there, according to them, you're overnight. Now, they're overnight to you, buddy. It's been a lifetime of fucking hard work and growing and self-criticizing and, Yeah.
Yeah, she people like that will say, I've been an overnight success for the past 20 years. You know what I mean? Right. It's 20 years in the making or 10 years in the making. But yeah. So I feel like maybe that's our trajectory. I hope not. I mean, Hollywood Studios or Hollow Oak Tree Studios.
Do you want to pay some respect to these guys because they're? Go ahead. What's their name?
Huh?
What's their names?
We can put that in a drop. We don't. Let's make it official. We don't need me saying their name.
No,
Hollow Spirit. I know their name. Hollow Spirit Studios. they, I think it's a testament to how good it is because there's people believing in it and people who do good work. I mean, if you haven't checked out the Thriller video, check it out. It's actually really good. That's the song they did, right? Thriller?
Yeah, Thriller. Yeah. I was just testing you. I just wanted to make sure you weren't bullshitting again.
I pay attention, Wiener. I pay attention.
No, I know.
See, here's the thing.
There it is again. We should have you guys should play along at home, a drinking game every time Imran says, "Here's the thing."
Well, animus. I just think it takes time, and also I think we're honing our craft, as it were. And that's not something entertaining or popular to say. People are liking it, and I know you in your life, people have told you that they like it. Now, it hasn't gotten to the point where we have strangers coming up to us.
No, and you know why people in my life tell me that they like it, Imran? I guess you're 2 steps ahead of me because you already know what I'm going to say.
That you have more friends than me, and it must suck to be an antisocial hermit like me.
An autistic. On the spectrum. No. Actually, you didn't know. It's because I wear the podcast on my sleeve in most social networking, wherever I go, and I talk to people, and I bring it up, and I'm not ashamed of it. Yep. Podcast over.
Speaking of Super Mario Brothers, I have to go jerk off.
Yeah. Bye, bitches.
Bye.
Bye.
This podcast has been brought to you by Gregg Wiener Productions, Inc. and Hollow Spirit Studios. To get in touch with Hollow Spirit Studios, go to their website, hollowspiritstudios.com. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share. And to reach out to Gregg Wiener or Imran Sheikh, feel free to message us at The Wiener Sheikh Show on our Facebook page. Or call 302-RAW-DONG. That's 302-729-3664. Thank you again for listening to The Wiener Sheikh Show. I'm Oprah Wiener.